Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Sergio. We're back again here at New York Men's Grooming Lounge in downtown Burlington. And we just want to remind all of our viewers what your facility provides. It's all exclusively for men.
Yeah, we're exclusively for men. We offer hair cutting services, hot towel shaves, manicures, pedicures, waxing, facials, and we also are licensed liquor bar as well. So.
Very fun. Now the downstairs area is where a lot of all the spa treatments take place.
That's right.
Yeah. So you can come in for you have RMTs, massage therapy.
Yeah, we have RMT as an accent service. We don't offer that daily, but just because a lot of the clients are asking for it.
Yes.
But we have someone that comes in part-time for the week. But full-time we are pedicures, manicures. We offer facial treatments.
Awesome.
And so it's that will be a 5-day.
Okay, so one thing that last time we were here, we were talking about the whole concept of having the hot shave, and so let's remind people of that because that's going back, kind of back in the day, and bringing it forward again. And once a man has actually experienced that, they love it. So explain that to everybody at home what that's all about.
Basically, it's hot towel shave is it's a very close shave. We use sometimes it's 2 to 3 steaming hot towels, and I finish it off with a very cold towel. And in between each towel, there's different methods that I use. So a lot of pre-shaving oils and pre-shave treatments. I've got my own company now called Shave Aficionado, so I actually perform shave with Shave Aficionado.
I see.
It's 100% organic. So and then we finish it off with post-shave lather and cold towel. And all of our blades are fresh. We like the Japanese disposable razors, so we use disposable razors. Every client has a new fresh blade.
Great, that's great. Now, why is this becoming so popular? Why are men loving this? Other than, I mean, the experience is quite nice, right? It feels good, and it's more than just a quick, and you don't have to do it yourself. That's always a bonus, right?
Yeah, sure.
But is it really good for your skin to do this once in a while?
It's very good. It's actually, we're exfoliating the skin, so it's very good for the skin. And it allows the beard to grow in more freely. With the steam and the hot towel and the massage with a very good shave cream, the closer you get, and with the cold towel at the end of the shave, it just prevents ingrowns from happening. So a lot of the times we would compare this to like electric shave. We have clients that come in with electric machine and they have a lot of problems with their skin.
Sure, yes.
Because it's not exfoliating enough. So, and that's what we find with the triple hot towel.
I see. Okay, so that's something. And we were saying, we're talking before the shoot that it's a great place for men to come on their wedding days with their groomsmen. So you can imagine everybody having one of those and just getting all trimmed up and looking good, right?
Sure.
All right, so let's talk about the real reason we're here today was we really want to make a focus on World Beard Day. And beards are back with a vengeance. We're seeing them a lot everywhere in different ways. Some really heavy, some like full-on heavy. I worked with the Hamilton Tyler cats too, as everybody knows, and they were getting some serious beards on some of these guys. I don't even know how they play with it. But we're all seeing all different types of facial hair. So we need to be a little bit of focus on how do you maintain these beards, because some of them, some people, they're just grown out and burly, but it's all about grooming and making it look good, particularly if you're a professional.
Sure. It's basically with maintaining the beard is, if I'll show you just William's cheekbone. It's just the line is maintaining the line. That's a lot of commonly asked questions is with underneath the beard line here.
Where you end it.
Where do you end it? That's the most popular request. So what I would suggest is not against the jawbone, is more mid neck around here, and with the top of the cheek coming down to about here. William has it exactly precise.
Nice, William. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, so he did a really great job. And thickness is really on personal and how thick you really want it. But a lot of the times, keeping it more natural looking is probably the best style right now.
That's sort of the trend we're seeing right now.
More of a trend, more natural.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And
So
what I mean by that is not too
much,
manicured.
like desigmes in their face
Exactly.
anymore?
Yeah,
okay.
that's not happening. So.
That's what we're gonna do today,
Not
all
here
right,
anyway.
William? We like it, but we're gonna change it all up on you. I'm just kidding. All right, so I mean, one thing I've heard, is that sometimes once, if men aren't used to growing their facial hair and they kind of start doing it, they start getting itchy. They say they get itchy and dry. So they want to do it and they're like, it's too much, and they just shave it all off again. What are some solutions there? Because it's hard sometimes just to put like a plain old moisturizer if you have like full-on hair there. So what do you do?
A nice beard oil. A nice beard oil is really, really good for the beard because what it'll do is it'll condition the follicle. And it'll also help with the itch of the beard. A lot of the times when the beard gets to a certain thickness, the gentleman finds that it gets really itchy.
Yeah.
So and irritating. So the beard oil will just a nice beard oil will keep it conditioned and manicured through the day.
Okay. Since I don't have facial hair, how often are you supposed to be maintaining this? How quickly is it growing? Some people faster than others, I'm sure. How do you?
Every day, it's totally, it goes on, I would say probably every day.
Okay.
Or every second day. Every second day would be more for the guys that have a hard time growing in the beard.
Okay.
But William, I would say probably would fit maybe almost every day to every second day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and coming in and getting maybe a professional trim would really helps keep that look balanced too, because you can the balance can be off on your face too. Right?
A lot of the times the beard is not exactly the same on both cheeks. So
right.
You have to really be careful when you're going into a barber shop and you say, I'll have a level 2 or a level 3. A lot of the times it'll look different. So ask your barber to just manicure it with his comb, maybe machine over comb, and he'll be able to gauge it better. Because sometimes beard is thicker on the left side than it is on the right side. So once you use that clip, it's finished. You can't fix it. So maybe often enough we use our comb just to kind of gauge it better.
I see.
So
that
that
makes
would
sense.
be like a machine over a comb, and that'll be more accurate.
Now, do you ever run into issues where men will say, my facial hair is so different from my hair on my head, but they don't really like that? Is there anything that you can do about that other than, like, what can you do other than dyeing, I guess, their hair?
As far as color?
Yeah.
I think it's, it's never really exactly the same.
Yeah.
But,
It's never that bad.
we offer services where we do color treatments as well.
Sure.
We have salt pepper treatment where we're keeping a little bit of the gray so it blends in nicely with the beard. So, and a lot of the times the gentleman might want us to color treat the beard as well.
Okay.
It's a different process. It's a lengthier process because the follicle is stronger.
But there's so much more you can do these days.
But there's so much more.
Well, so people have to come in and visit you. And again, great for groomsmen, great as gift certificates. As we move and edge months away from Christmas now, birthday presents, get your dad in here and get your brother or your son, whoever it may be. Good space to be, and you'll want to come back.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sergio, and thanks to all the crew.
Thank you.
And thanks, Wim. I'll be back with more Terra at Home right after this. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning, welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Roger Foster, very, very cool place, the Carlisle Canoe Company, and haven't seen you in years, and you're still doing this, going strong. In fact, the business is great.
It is. Welcome back, Leslie.
Oh,
nice to see you again.
Thank you. So nice to see you. I love being here. So you make canoes.
That's what I do for a living.
That's what you do.
Build,
now, how cool is that?
Build and repair wooden canoes.
Right. But But the twist to it all is that people can come in and build their own.
That's the best
That's
part,
the best part.
Leslie. It's fine for me to make a canoe for somebody.
Sure.
And for them to give me about $6,000 for that canoe.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would much rather have the chance to build it themselves, and it costs about half that.
Wow.
So they put in the labor and provide the funds, and I provide everything else, all the tools, the equipment, the facilities, tea and coffee, chocolate chip cookies.
That in itself is selling me right now. But
Chance to pat a nice big dog.
I know, you have a wonderful dog. I so love him. But okay, so the cool idea about this all, and I think, you know, in the end, the real selling point is that when you come in here and you walk away with a canoe that you helped build.
Oh, there's the
that really-
pride of ownership
Yes.
that you have done this. It's a little bit like it's on a bucket list perhaps of a few people that they've always wanted to make their own canoe. And if you want the feeling of being truly Canadian, what more Canadian thing can you do than make your own canoe? You can become a Mountie, perhaps.
Sure.
That's one, but make your own canoe.
Yes, or wear beaver pelts or something. I don't sell
Good
beaver pelts.
idea.
I don't know. But you're right, though. I mean, really, this is like super Canadiana.
Certainly.
So let's talk about the actual process. So when somebody wants to come in and build their own canoe, where do you start? Are there a series of questions you need to ask somebody, or is it
No,
just
because
like you
anybody can do it. You don't
Okay.
need any prior woodworking experience.
Right.
In fact, it's better if you don't have any. If you're a custom cabinet maker, that's bad news because you've got preconceived notions on how things should be done.
I can totally imagine that. Yes.
But in a canoe, there's nothing that comes together at a right angle. So everything's being warped, twisted, cupped.
Right.
We're dealing with lumber like this, and it bends and flexes so easily.
Right.
And so I pre-mill all this. I buy it as raw lumber,
Okay.
you know, maybe this thick, yay wide, very long. Cut it into these planks and the ribs, and then they are, to some degree, tortured to get them into position, into shape. And we have to employ things like steam, lots of steam,
Right.
to bend all the ribs. Don't know if you can see along the side
say
here,
down
but these
here.
ribs, that's one piece of wood that comes up
goes over.
and bends and right back down again. That's quite
Right.
a sharp bend.
So you have to really get those nice and moist and
Moist,
warm
hot,
and-
put them in a steam box, cook it for about 35 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe throw some lobster in there while you're at it and have your lunch too. Yeah.
So when someone comes, do you have all of the pieces prepared? Obviously, it takes some time.
Oh,
so
yes, the
it's not
raw
a one-day project, right?
That's right. It will take approximately 90 hours of your time or of the customer's time to come and build a canoe.
Okay.
And I'm working with you. Say you're building a canoe with me. You and I together are building you a canoe. So you can look upon it a couple of ways. You can either say you're building a canoe and I'm showing you how to do it,
You're the assistant.
or I'm building you a canoe and you're the free labor. It's
I see. All right, that's
the
true.
same.
That could be.
So you can show up to build a canoe, and you can bring as many people as you like. So
Okay.
the price is the same for everybody, and it's somewhere around the $3,500 mark. And whether it's just you or you show up with perhaps a whole family, which is actually what's happening with this canoe. This is a
really?
young family.
Aw.
They're away at the cottage at the moment, but they're building this, and I'm helping them to do it. And it's going to be kind of a family heirloom when it's all done.
Well, that's what we were talking about before the segment, is that this really does become that. It's something that, you know, when you build a well-made, solid canoe, you take care of it. And of
This is
course,
it.
you would help with repairs in the end if
It's-
they do a little some damage. But
Yes, if you damage your canoe, we do an awful lot of repair.
I
here.
bet you do. But this is a keeper for
it is,
a long, long
and
time.
it's one of those things where you're very reluctant to loan it out to somebody. So, oh, that's a nice canoe. Can I borrow that for the
Yeah,
weekend? No, sorry.
it's a whole different perspective when you
Yeah.
put the love and labor
The time and
into-
effort that goes into it. There's so many little details that go into a canoe that you learn along the way. So it's a learning process. You've never steamed wood before. Most
Right.
people haven't. And so it's kind of a fun thing to do. The first time you bend a piece of wood and you take it and you think, this should break by now.
Right.
And suddenly it just keeps going and you can tie it in a knot.
Wow.
It's kind of an interesting process.
So when you're talking about approximately 90 hours to build this, is that kind of at your leisure? Like if you stretch 90 hours
Exactly.
over 2 years, then that's...
2 years is pushing it.
I was going to say.
Yeah. 3 months
Wrap it up, get her done.
is usually how long it takes. Some people take a working vacation.
I see.
And they'll perhaps have a 2-week spot. They'll come here, maybe stay at a local bed and breakfast if they're from out of town. And they'll work every day, long hours, short coffee breaks.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks, they're leaving with a finished canoe. Yeah, but most of my customers who live within the commuting area, they'll come out perhaps a Tuesday evening, and then before you leave, we just basically say, when can you come next? I can come Saturday afternoon. Sorry, I'm busy Saturday afternoon. How about Sunday morning?
Great.
So that's how it is.
That's
it's just
how it is.
scheduling as you go.
Well, one thing that I've noticed since last time I was here are these awesome tables that you have. So you work along with...
We've branched out a little bit. I do an enormous number of classes in paddle carving at a store called Lee Valley Tool. Have you heard of the store?
Yes, it's an awesome place.
I know, awesome place. And they have seminars, and so I'm one of the instructors at various Lee Valley Tools.
Right.
And you can make something like this coffee table here.
Which is a whole lot of character
Have a
and
little
very,
slip.
very cool. So again, you can make that.
You can make this. There's another one just a little closer to you, and you can make that in one day. And this is called a paddle top coffee table.
It's awesome. And you could actually sit on that. The
You
way
can
it's
sit
been
on it,
structured,
yes.
it's strong.
It's very strong, and it's what I do with all the short bits of wood that I can't make a real paddle out of or something like that. Well, you make a coffee table.
Why not?
There's a glass top coffee table down here,
This is beautiful.
and that's a little more expensive.
But can see these in people's cottages.
Oh, they're
my
great.
gosh.
Or now it is a big coffee table.
Sure, it is.
When you think it's 8 feet
This one's
long,
big, yeah.
and there's one just above it that's being partly made.
Oh, I see.
So that's
Okay.
the same kind
Yeah.
of thing, but it
Okay.
is not finished yet.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we make all kinds of coffee tables. We make child sleds.
Child
you
sleds,
can
yeah.
show up and in a day make something like this.
That is so awesome. That's just
Isn't
so
that nice?
classic, right?
Great gift for Christmas time for the
Yes.
grandkids.
So yes,
come
get in
out.
here
I mean, you
soon
can
and make
buy
one of them.
one, but the chance to make your own is what people are really.
Yes.
That's why they come here.
And boomerangs.
We do a lot of boomerang carving classes too.
I love it.
Yes, yeah, we have a
way too much
boomerang. This one is a left-handed boomerang. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right.
Good, you're right-handed. All right, so this is for lefties, because if you throw this with your right hand, it's going to dive into the ground.
That might be
and
safer with me.
so we do these also at Lee Valley Tool, or here.
Cool.
And you can carve a couple of boomerangs in about, 3 hours.
Well, I could talk to you for hours about this. Honestly, we could spend, but someone has to come and experience this. If this is something you've always wanted to do, if you even knew it existed, that you could come and actually build your own canoe,
know.
you can do it with
You
you,
can
right,
come
Roger?
here and learn
Yes.
how to hammer and bang in tacks. I see one, I'm going to make a little noise.
Okay.
Just put one in right there. And this is what you spend a lot of time doing.
Yes, because you can there's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there's
a whole lot of them.
4,000 in there.
Well, thank you.
You're
so
very,
much
very
for letting us
welcome.
into your
I have a little
space.
gift for you.
You do.
Yes, it's right here. Thanks for coming out. We hope you return again.
I will. Thank
That's
you.
a right-handed one.
All right, you'll have to practice this with me. Thank you. That's awesome. What a
You're
great
welcome.
place to be, and hopefully you can make your own canoe someday. That's it for Terra at Home. We'll be back with more. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning, and welcome back to Terra at Home. We're in our Terra kitchen today with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegro restaurant in Hamilton. And well, it's officially back to school. It's September, and much as we don't want summer to go away, we start to get more into the comfort food slowly, and also the ease of the mayhem of being back to school for parents.
Yeah, back into
right?
the routines and trying to figure out the quick way to get the dinners done and
Yes.
lunches made and all the rest of the stuff that goes
And not
with
pulling it out of a box. So
Exactly.
try to keep it
Exactly.
homemade as much as we can. And again, I think everyone just loves macaroni and cheese.
it. Everybody loves macaroni and cheese. And this one, you know what? This has got a little twist on it.
Yes.
But what's nice about this dish is you can modify it as you see fit. So, I mean, I like putting sun-dried tomato puree in this. So what we have here is some sun-dried tomatoes that we rehydrated, and then we just puree them with a little bit of olive oil. If your kids don't like that or you don't like it yourself, just leave the sun-dried out.
It's a stronger flavor, right?
It's a stronger
So
flavor,
that's
adds
easy.
a little bit of salt to it, but it does have a neat little zing to it as well because you got a little bit of acidity left over. So
I see.
we have that. We have some gorgonzola cheese. So again, if you don't like that, we have mozzarella and Asiago mixed. We have Parmesan. And then the noodle I decided to choose is fusilli. And this is actually Italian fusilli.
It's so funny because I said to you, I've never seen that before, and you're like, this is like the real stuff.
This is the real stuff. The other one is, if you have it in Italy, it's called rotini. Not
Ah.
fusilli, even though we call it fusilli here. But this is
Okay.
what fusilli looks
Oh, and
like.
I love homemade pasta, just something
Oh,
about it.
it's fantastic. So what I have is I have a pot of boiling water on, and of course we're salting it like the sea. And I'm going to put that pasta in.
And fresh pasta doesn't take as long to cook, right?
No, this one will only take about four or 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't take nearly as long. And then we have our skillet over here. I'm going to add a little bit of oil, and we have some diced white onion.
So right away, that's a twist, adding onion to your macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, you know what? The onions, what it does is it adds, onions have a chemical that make all the other flavors in your mouth pop. So by adding this, and especially if you dice it really fine, nobody would even know what's
You wouldn't
in
even
there. But it adds a little bit of sweetness, and also, like I said, it makes every other spice and herb that you're using
Oh.
give it a little bit of a pop.
Okay.
Now,
It's
can
probably
you,
why we use it so often. It's almost like the base of all
base,
soups and
that's
most
right.
most recipes, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Now, can I have? We have some fresh basil over here, so I'm gonna grab some fresh
All right.
basil.
There you go.
And again, if you don't want to use basil, you don't have to. But
But it's
You know
great.
what?
You know, you
It's
can come pick up these pots of TERRA. I love having these in your kitchen because then you have ongoing, growing, fresh herbs. Herbs
That's right.
go very quickly when they've been cut and put in your fridge, right? So
They do.
And these look good and they smell amazing.
the flavor out of the ones that you can grow at your house are just so much stronger, more pungent than anything you would ever be able to buy because the stuff you buy has just
That's
been
true.
mass produced. So.
Right. Okay.
All right, so we add a pinch of salt to this. Now, you got to be careful how much salt you add in this one because all these cheeses have salt in it. The sun-dried tomato puree has salt in it. So you do have to be
Okay.
somewhat careful.
Because yes, I think we've all had a macaroni and cheese that has been too salty before, and
That's right.
it's just too much, right?
It is too much, and you know it. When you eat it, it's good. Problem is, you're drinking water for the next 6
And
hours
you
trying to
be
make up
slightly
for it.
larger the next day. Your
That's
pants
right.
might not do up.
That's right. We have some pureed garlic, so I'm going to add a little bit of pureed garlic, and then we have some coarse black pepper here.
So again, as you're saying, adjust these flavors to your family because you know if you some kids don't like pepper or some kids
right.
don't like the intensity of tomato. It's funny how a lot of times kids don't like tomato in general,
yes.
right? And then once you get into sun-dried tomato, obviously the flavors are really rich. So
That's
yeah,
right.
just adjust. You could take out half of this and still get the base of a really good mac and cheese.
And like I said, you know, if your kids prefer cheddar cheese, you can put cheddar cheese in there, Gruyere, whatever cheese you want, you can add into it and then modify the flavors, and that'll change the dish
I was going to say
dramatically.
completely, right?
Yes.
And that's the cool part about cheese, that we have so much to choose from. And don't be afraid to try something new.
That's right. That's right. You know, to me, I mean, mac and cheese, I love it with cheddar cheese, but I really like an aged cheddar.
Oh,
There's just
yeah.
something about a good sharp
That's
cheddar.
a good rich one right
It-
there, right?
it
So
is.
is that cream that you put in?
That was 18% cream,
Oh,
and that's the
cream
base.
and cheese. As we say, we're hunkering down for winter soon, so.
That's right. That's right. And then all we're going to do is we're going to let this come to a rapid simmer. And what it does is it's going to take the fat in the cream and it's going to thicken it up. And you're going to get a lot of body out of your sauce just by doing that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that cook for a couple minutes before I put the basil in. Don't want to put it in too early because it'll burn. You don't want it to scorch. You don't want to lose its flavor. You really want,
right.
I want that nice licorice flavor to come out of this basil to go with this dish.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it'll
now
balance
notice you
nicely.
haven't added any butter.
No.
No butter to this dish.
No. Now, you know, when I cook, whenever I cook cream sauces, people are like, well, why are you using 18% cream? I don't use 18%. I can make it with milk.
Right.
But then they're putting a quarter pound of butter in
Exactly.
anyway.
That's what I was thinking. So
Skip one step.
Okay.
Go straight to
Sure.
the 18%. You don't have to worry about adding butter. It's one less ingredient.
Yeah,
And
okay.
again, if you're buying salted butter, then it's another thing you got to manage. And
you have to watch that.
That's
The
right.
salt in there. Okay. I love the ingredients in here. I love that you're putting basil in there. Basil's one of my favorite herbs. That's just awesome.
it really gives a nice sweetness to the whole
It kind
dish.
of makes it a little fancier. That's what what's happening.
It does
here.
too. That's right. Stir this pasta. And of course, whenever you're cooking pasta, you want to make sure that you're cooking it al dente. I mean, that's the key to any dish.
You don't want your pasta mushy. Now, are you going to put this in the oven to continue to bake, or is this as it is?
No, this is as it is. We're going to
Okay.
put the pasta straight in there. I'm just going to add the cheeses now, start melting
Okay.
them, and then we give it a toss with the pasta.
Okay, so that's easy then.
It's a simple one. You can do it as a casserole if you wanted to.
Right.
Just make sure you spray your dish before you put that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh,
Or
that's
else
when you
spend-
get someone else to do the dishes.
That's
Sorry
right.
about that, I didn't
That's
spray
right.
the pan. Walk away from the kitchen now. So you put Parmesan and,
And this is an Asiago mozzarella blend that I have.
okay, so that'll give it a nice flavor.
And you can see that it's already really thickening up.
It
You're
is.
getting a nice base there.
Oh goodness.
It's all got that stringiness that you're looking for.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. I just want to put on my track pants.
It is kind of
Sit
one of those
down
meals.
on the couch with a big bowl of this. This
It
is
is
one of those special ones.
meals.
You know, you gotta, everybody has to do this once in a while. This is just good.
Now the other thing is, once you make this, the only mistake that people make when they try to make this is either too thick or too thin. If
Yes.
it's too thin, add more cheese.
Okay.
If you find that it's too thick and you want something a little runnier,
Yep.
add more cream to it and just don't let it reduce because the cream
Okay.
will thicken considerably as it's cooking.
Okay, what we'll do is take a quick break. We'll come back and put this all together. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra restaurant in Hamilton, and we have a nice thick sauce, that
We do.
base for our macaroni and cheese.
Mhm.
Pasta's cooked, homemade
Pasta's cooked.
fusilli.
That's right.
Oh, it looks good.
So we're just going to take the pasta out and drain it. And if you notice, you don't rinse your pasta.
Yes.
Don't
you want
rinse
that
the
starch
pasta.
to remain on there, right?
You want the starch to remain.
Okay. And that helps the sauce stick, right?
It does.
Okay.
And you know what? The noodle itself, the fusilli noodle, will help bind to the sauce just the way
Right.
it's designed.
Okay, that's the neat part. Over the years, I've never really realized the reasoning for all these different types of pasta. I just thought, there's preference. Some people like the little small bites, whatever. But Italian, it's so smart. You come up with all the right sauce will sit for the right pasta. It all just works, right? Like
It
that's,
does.
as you say, that's going to get all inside the noodle.
That's right.
So there is a reason for the noodle meeting the sauce.
It all binds it, it
Mm-hmm.
holds it, it grips the sauce so that when you're trying to get it out of the plate, it's not all sitting there and you just have the noodles coming out. So it's all for purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'm going to add the gorgonzola.
Oh boy.
This is going to give it that really strong, pungent flavor.
Yeah.
Now, again, if you don't like it, leave it out. But
That sounds amazing.
this is, you got to have gorgonzola.
Oh yeah, that's just you're taking up a whole notch here. Just a
That's
reminder
right.
as well, while Mark is preparing this for us at the end here, you can find our recipes on terragreenhouses.com, so you can give this a try at home. And you make this in your restaurant too.
We do
so if
make
you don't
this
feel
one
like
in the
making it
restaurant.
yourself, then you can let Mark and his people do it for you.
There we go. We'll get a couple chives and
All
we'll
right.
garnish with
Here
that.
you
How's
go.
that? Again, fresh chives.
And again, make it how you want to make it. Take from this what you need to adapt it to your family. But this, you know what? I would love to go to a dinner party and have something like this, because this is awesome. You know what? You just don't need anything else other than maybe a glass of red wine, eh?
Oh yes. Yeah, something with a little acidity, it'll set it off nicely
Awesome.
for you.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Maybe you can make it this weekend. That's it for TERRA at Home. Have a good one.